Hello and welcome to part 10. I have some things jotted down here that I may forget, so that's why I made a list. Just things I wanted to mention. But welcome to part 10, and I just wanted to say some of the things I see wrong with society today are government based, how the government is structured mainly. And then I defer you back to democratic capitalism. I throw that out again just in case you're considering it. Learn more about it, maybe make it happen. I don't know. Um, and then the second thing I was thinking of, um, and structurally having a sound infrastructure, everything needed for transportation, getting from one place to another, getting goods from one place to another, services from one place to another, and then also the infrastructure, meaning all the different things that go into society that make it great, hospitals, etc., post office, bank, what have you, shops, stores. Okay, so that's part one of part 10, if that makes any sense. That's the first part I was thinking of. So those are the things that we can work on in society. And then there are things that have more to do with individuals and, we being imperfect. I mean, I'm not perfect. My teeth aren't perfect. You've probably seen already. So, my point being is that we all have some sort of weakness or something like that. I mean, maybe we're all given like a certain number of genes or something like that, but we're lacking in some areas and we have pluses in others, and so we have to accept that in each other and ourselves. So let me just mention a few of the things that I think we could work on. And some of them are like being more good, or good to one another, or just good in general. Goodness, I think, is very important. And then these are some things that I mentioned the negative side. I don't mean to point fingers at anyone. No one is totally any of these things. It's just maybe slightly so. So I'll mention a few of the things. I think arrogance happens at times. Maybe this is even a little bit arrogant what I'm doing, trying to talk to you about things that I may or may not know. But we need to be careful about arrogance, I think. I think that can be a real problem. And then maybe turn it into being more humble or humble, totally humble. Um, um, Too humble and you're not having a strong enough ego or whatever, but you don't want an overpowering ego, or you believe you're something you're not. You're what they call in psychology your id, is what you really are, and if you believe you're something you're not, that can lead to problems. But sometimes we have to care about ourselves, love ourselves anyway, despite our flaws or faults or whatever it is. But it doesn't mean we can't change them as well. We can work on them. Something I was thinking about. Then there are people that are maybe less intelligent. That's not really such a problem unless they're in a position of power or just daily making decisions that affect their life. That you want to be able to make smart decisions. So doing that is important. That's not to say someone really smart is perfect, because then they could be, the next one I have here is immoral. You could be very smart and immoral and do awful things, and we don't want that. So there are checks and balances with all of this sort of. You have to be sort of at an even keel. Some have strengths far greater than others, and weaknesses greater than others, and we'll just hope for the best. Next one I have here is mentally stable, and that's very important. Or mentally unstable is something you don't want to be. Some of us are slightly that, and or more so. And so moving in the direction of very sane sanity in society is very important. It doesn't mean we look down upon those with mental conditions or anything like that, but maybe help them to become more sane in the direction of very sane. Lacking knowledge can be a problem, and I'll defer back to not understanding democratic capitalism, and I think that a lot could be learned by that for different reasons, for different countries, nations, and there are a plethora of things you can learn about. I had an opportunity to improve my vocabulary exceedingly so, and chose not to, so I could speak with just about anyone, hopefully. Although, maybe some intellectuals resent the fact that I speak in a very common tongue, a very plain tongue. But that's just who I am, who I chose to be. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit. There are certain words I know, like synergy, working together for something, a common goal or something, getting something done. I digress a little bit here. So turn that into maybe knowledgeable. And now it seems that maybe we can have, I don't want to say our better half, but women more knowledgeable, going to school. Maybe this is a really good thing and can have their help as well. That would be nice. And then we have people who are a little unjust or not considerate enough of others in certain decision making, and justified is something you want to be. When you do something, you want to be just and justified, and not just justify it by some explanation, and actually truly being justified is what I'm speaking of. Unlawful is a serious problem. We have that, it seems, around the globe sometimes. People breaking the law, crime, it leads to all kinds of problems and anxieties and fears and whatnot, and it's really unpleasant for many of us. So it can also just derail a society if you're unlawful. So lawful is very important, and then having the right law, rule of law, the right laws, that's important. Someone may say, who is to say what the right laws are? I defer back to the Constitution. I believe in it. I don't believe in bump stocks, but I may, to a smaller extent, believe in the right to bear arms. That may have been a joke by God, is what I thought. Maybe bear arms is no weapons, no nothing, just empty hands, bare arms. Little joke there, not funny maybe, but and then this is sort of going back to something else I mentioned, being sort of callous, not caring about people. It's okay to care. There's a song about that. Don't be afraid to care. And sometimes we need to. Too much of it can lead to a problem where people don't want too much help sometimes. If they get too much help, they feel like they're not doing it for themselves, but help them to help themselves, maybe something like that, or just outright help them. So that's altruism, and that's something that the UN is good at. There are limits, but they're doing what they can. Good deliberating, which is thinking over a decision, making a decision. Maybe you don't take too much time, but maybe you need to take a long time to think about something and deliberate well about something, using all of these skills, putting everything into perspective and deliberating well. Perspective, I'm thinking of perceiving things rightly. I know in this world things look a certain way and they may not be as they seem. That's sort of bordering on the supernatural or delving into the supernatural. But sometimes we have to think that way, and then at the same time not, because we have to stop these things from happening in the news. These awful things and stuff. So, but we don't want to use the wrong means, violent mean or something like that. Not a good thing. And then good sound judgment is the last I have on this list. If you'll bear with me. Good judgment is very important. It's similar to good deliberating. Use your best judgment, is what I think. And then we want things in truth to be good, not, all these things in truth, not faked or, truly what's best or truly what should be. And then we could even say truly what's very best or truly what very much should be, our thoughts about it. Okay. Wow, that was long-winded. So these are just some thoughts I have at this point. And I think I'll go because I've overstayed my welcome, possibly. But take care, and I hope you tune into part 11 or the other parts at some point. Thank you for watching, and bye.